Hey there! Welcome to today's video. If you've been thinking about starting a business, you're in the right place. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set up an LLC, and trust me, it's actually way simpler than most people think. Whether you're launching an online store, starting a consulting business, or turning your side hustle into something more official, this guide will break everything down into easy-to-follow steps. Now, before we dive into the how-to, let's talk about why you might want to form an LLC. You see, an LLC, or limited liability company, offers some pretty significant advantages that make it really attractive for most small business owners. First and foremost, there's the personal asset protection. This is huge. It basically means that if your business ever faces legal issues or debt problems, your personal assets like your house, car, and savings account are typically protected. You can think of it as creating a legal wall between your personal finances and your business operations. Then there's the tax flexibility. So with an LLC, you actually get to choose how you want to be taxed. You can either keep it simple with pass-through taxation, where profits go directly to your personal tax return, or you can opt to be taxed as a corporation if that makes more sense for your situation. And here's something really cool. LLCs are incredibly flexible when it comes to management structure. You see, whether you're running the show solo or have multiple business partners, an LLC can accommodate pretty much any setup you need. Now, one of the biggest decisions you'll need to make is which state to form your LLC in. And honestly, this decision can have a pretty significant impact on your business. The thing is, while you can technically form an LLC in any state, most small business owners are actually better off forming their LLC in their home state. But there are some exceptions to this rule, especially if you're looking at states like Wyoming or Delaware that offer some pretty attractive benefits. For example, Wyoming has become incredibly popular for LLC formation because, well, it offers some amazing perks. You see, there's no state income tax, which means more money stays in your pocket. Plus, they have some of the strongest privacy protections in the country. They don't require you to publicly disclose who owns the LLC. On the other hand, Delaware is famous for its business-friendly courts and well-established business laws. And basically, this means you get really solid legal protection and predictability if any disputes come up. So, once you've decided on your state, the next big step is choosing your company name. And trust me, this is more than just picking something that sounds cool. First things first, you'll need to make sure your chosen name is actually available. Each state has its own database where you can search for existing business names, and you'll want to check this thoroughly before getting too attached to any particular name. Now, there are some basic rules you'll need to follow. For instance, your name must include limited liability company, or an abbreviation like LLC or LLC. And you can't use words that might mislead people about what your business does. Speaking of important decisions, you're going to need a registered agent. And I actually recommend using Taylor Brands for this. They offer registered agent service as part of their LLC formation packages, and you can find a special discount link for them in the description and pinned comment below. But what exactly is a registered agent? Well, they're basically your official point of contact for legal and state documents. Think of them as your business's official mailbox for important stuff, like legal notices or state correspondence. They need to have a physical address in the state where your LLC is formed, and they have to be available during regular business hours. Now, while you can technically be your own registered agent if you live in the state where your LLC is formed, I usually recommend going with a professional service like Taylor Brands. You see, they're experts at handling all the paperwork, plus they'll make sure nothing important ever slips through the cracks. And remember, you can get a great deal on their services using that discount link I mentioned earlier. So, these are the initial steps you'll need to take when forming your LLC. And speaking of next steps, let's talk about what comes after choosing your registered agent. Now, filing your articles of organization is the next big step. And honestly, it's not as complicated as it sounds. You will need to provide some basic information about your business, including your LLC name, registered agent details, and principal office address. The filing fee varies by state, but it typically ranges from $50 to $500. So let's talk about the operating agreement, which is actually super important, even though many states don't require it. You see, this document basically acts like your LLC's rulebook. It outlines how your business will handle big decisions, how profits and losses are shared, and what happens if someone wants to leave the company. Now, while you can find templates online, I really recommend having a professional service help you create one that is tailored to your specific needs. And speaking of professional help, this is where Taylor Brands really shines. They will help you draft a comprehensive operating agreement as part of their formation package, and you can find their discount link in the description below. The next thing you will need is an EIN, or Employer Identification Number. Think of it as a social security number for your business. The good news is that getting one is completely free through the IRS website, and the whole process usually takes about 15 minutes. You will need this number to open a business bank account, file taxes, and hire employees. Now, depending on your type of business, you might need specific licenses or permits. For example, if you are starting a restaurant, you will need health permits. If you are opening a hair salon, you will need professional licensing. The thing is, these requirements vary by industry and location, so it is worth checking with your local government offices to make sure you have everything covered. Well, let me share some common pitfalls that you will definitely want to avoid. First off, a lot of people make the mistake of mixing personal and business finances. Trust me, you need to keep these separate from day one. Open a dedicated business bank account as soon as you get your EIN. Another big mistake is not maintaining proper records. You see, even though LLCs have fewer requirements than corporations, you still need to keep detailed financial records and maintain important documents like your operating agreement and annual reports. And here is something that trips up many new business owners: not staying on top of annual filing requirements. Each state has different deadlines and requirements for annual reports or statements. Missing these can result in penalties or even the dissolution of your LLC. So, once your LLC is formed, what comes next? Well, first things first, you will want to set up that business bank account I mentioned earlier. This is crucial for maintaining the liability protection your LLC provides. Then, you will want to think about business insurance. Even with an LLC, having proper insurance coverage is essential. This might include general liability insurance, professional liability insurance, or other types depending on your industry. And here is something a lot of people overlook. You should also create a system for keeping track of your business expenses and income right from the start. This will make tax time so much easier. Speaking of making things easier, I cannot stress enough how helpful it is to work with a professional formation service like Taylor Brands. They handle all these details for you, making sure nothing falls through the cracks. Remember, you can find their discount link in the description and pinned comment below. Well, we have covered a lot of ground here, but remember, forming an LLC is just the beginning of your business journey. Take it one step at a time, stay organized, and do not hesitate to seek professional help when you need it. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more business tips and tutorials. Drop any questions you have in the comments below. I love helping out fellow entrepreneurs. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your new LLC.